Hey, I hope you can read that sign. It says, "It is my judgment, therefore, that we should not make it difficult for the Gentiles who are turning to God." It's from Acts chapter 15. And this is a statement that hangs all over this church and in my office. And it's a reminder to me of what was going on in the early church. This was a statement that James, who was the brother of Jesus' little brother, think about this, made this statement because the people in the church at the time were coming up with all these rules and regulations that new people needed to follow. And so James, Jesus' little brother, made this statement that we don't need to make it hard for people that are trying to come to God. And I'm reminded of this, especially in light of even last Sunday where we celebrated the resurrection of Jesus, the one event that we base our faith on. Think about that for a minute, that we base our faith as Christians, as followers of Christ or disciples, whatever, on a historical event. It's not a bunch of rules. It's not a bunch of regulations. It's not about going to church. It's not about being in a church. It's about a personal relationship with this guy, Jesus, who said, in 3 days they're going to kill me, and then I'm going to raise from the dead in 3 days. And he pulled it off. It's an amazing thought that we can have the faith in a historical event, not just a bunch of rules and regulations, and that it's been documented. You know, over 500 people at one time saw him, and it wasn't just a figment of their imagination. They saw him, they touched him, they ate with him, and he hung around with them for 40 days. So we can have confidence that Jesus really did raise from the dead and that he's still alive. Now, I know for many of you, you just say, you know what, I've been involved with churches, I was at church, and that's why I'm not at church now, because of all the people and the way I've been treated, and they're just all a bunch of fake people and a bunch of hypocrites, and you know, they say one thing and they do something else, and all they want is your money and all this stuff. Listen, I'm not talking to you about a church, and that's why I'm not even going to mention a church name. It's not about that. It's about a historical fact, and that Jesus didn't just come to start a religion or to create a bunch of rules and regulations. He came to give dead people life, and I'm one of those guys. I was a dead guy. I was one of those guys that lived in anger and fear and hatred and unforgiveness. And then I met Jesus, and he gave me a new life and a purpose. And I believe he wants that for you too. So that's just all that's on my mind today. I just wanted to say, you know, give God another chance. Give Jesus a chance. And be real with him. He can handle it. If you're angry, if you're mad at him, be real with him. Be honest with him. He can handle it. And don't worry about going to church. You know, if you need to go to church, fine. But just hang out with a bunch of people in a restaurant or whatever and talk about it, because there's more to this life than what we see. And many of us, we know that on the inside. And as church people, we have messed it up so bad. And I just want to say, for many of us as church people, we apologize that we have made it difficult for people who are trying to turn to God. But listen, that's not Jesus' plan. Man messed that up. So I just hope you'll give it a thought today. Get some folks that will be honest and transparent and real with you, and just explore the fact that Jesus really rose from the dead, and that he wants to give you a new life, and he wants to offer you a purpose in life. That's all. Thanks.